WBC, aka We Back Canelo. They said Canelo is definitely the most important boxer. If this is not showing a bias, I don't know what is. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We definitely working. Cash App, $Boxingego. Let's jump in the mix. Link in the description. There's an article. It says WBC president, that's Mauricio Suleiman. Canelo is definitely the most important boxer, the world leader in boxing. WBC Prez Mauricio Suleiman is smiling from cheek to cheek. Just listen to what they're saying for the upcoming return of Canelo Alvarez. The contest will also involve the vacant WBC super middleweight title, Canelo's first bout since the Kovalev fight in November 2019. And this is what Suleiman had to say regarding Canelo coming back and fighting. Again, the link will be in the description. Callum Smith represents a significant challenge for Canelo as he is undefeated, possesses experience, and will be fighting at his natural weight, in addition to having a lofty height advantage to the tune of 18 centimeters. Callum Smith won the World Boxing Super Series tournament in the WBC Diamond, yada, yada, yada. Since that time, he's kept his sights on a championship and has been patiently waiting. Now, get this. Get this. Hold on. Make sure y'all smash the like button. WBC says, Canelo Alvarez is definitely the most important boxer of today. He is the world leader in boxing, and he is more anxious than ever to get back in the ring since his last fight, November of last year, where he knocked out Kovalev. The terrible pandemic stalled ambitious plans that he laid out, which makes no sense since he sued his last promoter. So I don't think he really had any plans other than to get out of his contract and sue Golden Boy and DAZN. It says he could not fight May or September, which has been important tradition for the world boxing, yada, yada, yada. So basically the WBC, we back Canelo, you know, they're on Canelo's jock. It is what it is. I think this is pretty easy for anybody with the brain to see that Canelo is definitely a popular fighter, but they're willing to do anything to appease Canelo, you know, anything. He's fighting Callum Smith. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his name, if it's Callum or Calum, but that's, you see he's holding the WBC belt. Callum Smith got the ring belt from his last appearance in the World Boxing Super Series, etc. So it is what it is. But the WBC, the reason why this is interesting is they've long been rumored to be biased to certain fighters, certain particular fighters, Canelo being one of them. Canelo failed with clenbuterol, and what did the WBC do? They upped the amount of clenbuterol you can have in your system, right? So why do that? Why change your rules for, you have a WBC clean boxing program, why would you change your rules after Canelo failed a drug test for that very drug, right? Canelo was angry at the WBC some odd years ago, and as a result, it looks like the WBC is willing to do anything to cater to Canelo and make sure and ensure that that never happens again. It seems they're hell-bent on making, you know, Canelo the face of boxing or whatever. They just said he's the most important guy in all of boxing. I don't see this level of enthusiasm when Deontay Wilder was the WBC champion. After the fight with Tyson Fury, people started to speculate and look at Tyson Fury's gloves. They didn't look legit. You know, Tyson Fury's gloves did not, simply put, look legit. As a result, people begged the WBC and others to take a look at matters and, you know, investigate. We did not see this type of willingness to jump on Wilder's side, but with Canelo, they're telling you what it is. They said he's the most important person in boxing. So when you see Canelo earlier in the year was trying to fight Avni Yildirim, not David Benavidez. David Benavidez, he failed to make weight and he lost his belt on the scale. We never really seen Canelo Alvarez show too much interest in fighting David Benavidez particularly, but as soon as he lost his belt, he wanted to fight Avni Yildirim. The WBC, they voted and said, hey, you know what? Canelo gets to fight Yildirim. He's the franchise champion, which is another move, right? That's another move. WBC, Avni Yildirim. That's another move that caters to Canelo, right? Is making him the franchise, which I've already talked about that. They keep delaying purse bids to accommodate Canelo, things like that. As you see, Saul versus Avni Yildirim, purse bid delayed. Then Canelo sues Golden Boy and decides to get out of his contract because he's not happy. And now, after they told you that 36-1 people voted in favor of Canelo facing Avni Yildirim, because that's the direction that Canelo was going in at the time, now they switch it up again and say he's fighting Callum Smith and they're fighting for the WBC title. So if Canelo's the most important person in boxing, first of all, why does his fight week feel pretty dry? Second, if he's the face of boxing and the most important person in boxing, why is the WBC always looking to bend the rules for Canelo? You know, like adding the higher levels of clenbuterol, trying to sweeten the pot and make the Callum Smith fight worth a WBC belt. You know, when he says he wants to fight Avni Yildirim, you vote in favor of that. When he says he's fighting Callum Smith because he just sued DAZN and Golden Boy Oscar, got out of his contract, now you're in favor of that. He can literally, they're giving him the Mario Brothers 3 star that makes him invincible. It's like they're trying, if Canelo's so important to you, you know, why should the rules, if he's so like pivotal to boxing, right? Why should the rules constantly bend for him? You know what I mean? Here, look, it's all on record. So I don't know why the WBC continues to make themselves look bad. WBC orders Canelo versus Yildirim fight for the vacant super middleweight championship fight, because that's the direction that Canelo wanted to go in. Now he sued, got out of the Golden Boy contract, got out of DAZN, and you see the WBC kissing his ass again and now making the fight with Callum Smith for the WBC title. But they just told you in August that they voted for Canelo to fight Yildirim. Now Yildirim has to wait on the sideline as it's another fight. The winner has to fight Yildirim. But you guys just said that Canelo in Yildirim was approved. So why is he fighting Callum Smith? He literally just does whatever he wants, and the WBC is going to back that decision because they believe Canelo Alvarez is the cash cow and they just want to be a part of anything big. So if it's Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Floyd, they just want to be a part of the money. And that's very apparent from the WBC's actions. They feel like Canelo really, I feel like at this point, Canelo is a great fighter, but his popularity is really being overstated. You know, he's definitely popular. I'm not saying he's not popular, but just look at his fight week. There's other guys like Errol Spence. People were curious to see how he was going to look. You know, you got guys like Gervonta and Wilder. People are like checking up and say, hey, where's Wilder been and stuff. You don't really see Canelo, like his Instagram and stuff is relatively boring. He just posts a couple pictures here and there and stuff like that. Meanwhile, you got other people who are like more showmen. You know, even Jake Paul. Jake Paul has trended this week for taunting Dylan Dennis and Jake Paul taunting Conor McGregor and stuff like that. Meanwhile, they're trying to make this a huge fight and they're putting it on pay-per-view for $70. I can't wait to see if the numbers come back. You know, they're trying to, the WBC wants to offer the vacant belt for this fight now, but they just said that Canelo was voted to fight Avni Yildirim. You know, I don't know why the WBC has decided to become so flagrant with the bias, but calling Canelo the most important person in boxing, how can you ever expect to get a fair shake from the WBC in any matter that involves boxing and Canelo and the WBC and the WBC decision when they just told you out their own mouth that Canelo Alvarez is the most important person in all of boxing? I mean, if that's not favoritism or bias, then I don't really know what your definition of the term is. So I think it's just a bad look that they continue to cater to Canelo instead of just being fair, keeping the uniform rules and stuff. Look, WBC Prez, Canelo definitely the most important boxer and the world leader in boxing. I mean, whatever. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. It seems like they have to constantly cater to Canelo and bend the rules and change the rules, but at the same time, they're saying he's the most important boxer. Mark my words, if the numbers come out, Mayweather versus Logan Paul will outsell this particular fight with Callum Smith and Canelo. We could do a bet or whatever. So how is Canelo the most important world leader and all that, but he can't beat Mayweather and Conor McGregor sales when they fought 2-3 weeks before he fought Golovkin, which was considered the real boxing fight? This stuff is not making sense, people. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.